Well, hello, it's time for Tuesday News Day. Oh boy. Perfect timing. Always. Hey, Warren. Oh yeah, first news. If you're Prime, get the bundle. Get your loot. Actually, I'm gonna pull that one out. Firefox. Oh crap. Whoop. Back. There we go. Yep. Prime Gaming, rock out. Hopefully not with your cock out. But anyways. If I can explain something, you'll give 5 subs. What do I need to explain? Oh, wait a minute, I'll close that one. We don't want no rentals. I want the missions. Thank you. Combat rations. Thank you. There we go. I want, it's wargaming bullshit. I'm guessing it has something to do with the HE changes. Yeah, but oh yeah, I guess you get like a pretty cool looking camo. And oh boy, guys, here we go. All right, Dylan, I'll go through the news first, and then I'll drag you in. So, IS-3A and AMX up for grabs. Then we have the penis tank, the AC4 experimental, and the box tank, and whatever the hell. Then we get those camos and blah blah blah, some missions. Nothing special there. But then we go. Results of sandbox iterations, HE shells and SPGs. What's next? So short stories changes are coming. Update 1.13. So the HE changes, SPG changes that were tested on the sandbox. Got the green light, so it is going, guys. It is. So yeah, I thought so. All right, so let's see. Let's just go through it. Like I'm not gonna read everything. I mean, it's available for everyone, so we'll quickly discuss it. And then they're like, why? I mean, fun, exciting gameplay, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, causing high frontal damage. Yeah, then we have the KB2's KB2R is apparently getting rebalanced as well, but that's a separate article. They will be going on to the super test for some further tweaking, I guess. Alright, so here we go for the interesting part. Interaction with HE shells, vehicles with good and average armoring. So here's apparently the results of Wargaming's well, data. So here you see well, I guess I'm not sure we're too interested in these, but the average damage, maybe, compared to the average damage on the sandbox, and then the change. So, currently, average damage 374 damage on armor without penetration. On sandbox, 319. So that's 14.7% decrease, apparently. On armor with penetration, also went down slightly. To screen module without penetration, went down just a bit. And then we come to like this total is kind of in my opinion, misleading, since like as far as I'm reading this, it all comes from this the screen module without penetration, because usually where's the Super Conqueror? There we go. So usually before well, right now, nope, penning these shields, right? I have violated the law. Oh crap, can't see the game. Fuck, sorry. Yeah, so right now you can't pen these shields, right? So and that goes for any tank with any spaced armor or whatever, tracks. Fences, rubble, whatever. So usually right now you can't pen those. So that's why this one is 0. But now you can. So if you do pen, you will do full damage. So that's why there's a huge increase here, and that reflects in the total here. And that just, in my opinion, you can't add this to the comparison, because it just doesn't. I feel like that gives the wrong impression, I guess. In general, like HE does less damage across like all of these. Super Conqueror just casually plus 36%. Nice. So yeah, that like I don't really agree with this. Like, I don't think the HEs should. I do think they should detonate on impact. That's my opinion. Like, I don't really like it that you can shoot through fences and some buildings and whatnot. It's not really. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But in general, like, I'm all for HE doing a bit less damage, and that seems to be the case on armor without penetration. So I guess that's the like normal. If like hit it here, it'll do 14.7% less, 28% less. Well, we have the Super Conqueror, so 11.3% less damage if you hit here. But then again, if it's gonna be such a small difference, why even bother? Here's what I wonder also. Yeah, I don't know, you guys tell me. Conclusion. The statistics show that for vehicles with good armoring, the number of penetrations through screens, including tracks, has not changed significantly. Alright, so if it doesn't change, why do the changes? At the same time, the amount of damage caused with the HE shells in this case decreased, or in worst case remained at the same level. So, because the armor under the screen most often remains intact and absorbs damage. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, if HE does less damage, and by the way, these numbers as well might change quite a bit, since this is from the sandbox, right? And how many average Andes are gonna be on the sandbox trying out this? That's definitely gonna be the tryhards, like better players doing this. So these average damages will probably go down. Like, people are still gonna just right click, left click, and not hit those shells, right? the amount of information is too much to be able to digest it within a few minutes. Not enough. Yeah. True. So yeah, I have a feeling these numbers will change quite a bit since after we go live. Actually, no splash on HE winner. No splash. More HE pen. Yeah. And all right. I'll drag you in, Sinsilen. Just join in on Discord. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing better. I've been a bit sick these past 2 days, but we'll take it after the news update.
That's not good. Not being sick.
Yeah.
So,
winner, yeah, they removed splash. Like, if I hit the Super Conqueror here, that's where it's gonna calculate the penetration. So it's gonna go through the shield. It's gonna lose the amount of penetration, like the thickness of the shield. It'll keep on going into the turret, and then it's gonna calculate again on the thickness of the armor behind there, and then it's gonna do the penetration calculations. So it doesn't splash anywhere and just find the weakest piece of armor and do whatever. Yeah, but you have something to add, so go ahead.
yeah, what I find confusing about the data, there's like multiple things. If you look at, for example, the IS-7, doesn't really matter at which tank you're looking.
Yep.
And this is important. This is just about the data. I'm not judging whether this is good, whether this is bad, or what the results are. But,
yep.
So you look at, so basically what they're saying is interaction with HE shells, and this is the damage the tank receives, right? So this was the first confusing part, because they weren't like 100% clear. So this is the damage that the IS-7 receives from only and only HE shells. No APCR, no heat, no AP. Okay.
Yep.
So in total, on current server, it receives 395 damage on average by HE shells, right?
Yep.
Very clear. So now on the test server, it receives on average 456 damage per HE shell, right?
Yep. Yep.
Pretty obvious. Pretty simple thing.
Yep.
Now, right below that, they say adjusted. A little asterisk there. So they adjust this, and they specifically mention special rounds. They adjust this by special rounds, so the amounts of special rounds used. If we think about special rounds being gold rounds, which I assume they are.
Yeah, that's what the Wargaming calls them.
Yeah. Why do they matter in an average damage of only HE shells?
I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I was asking. Explain that to me and I'll give 5 subs, because that makes absolutely no sense.
No,
and then
you go like... I feel like it...
Down.
Yeah. What I feel like they are trying to... I guess they have had some... I mean, people have been complaining about it and whatnot, so I guess they are trying to justify these, in some way. I really don't understand.
Exactly. That's what my theory is behind this. And
but what does it matter what kind of HE shell it is? It's an HE shell.
Yeah. Again, right, exactly. So really what it matters is just, okay, if I fire 100 HE shells and my average damage is, let's say, 400 now, and on the sandbox it's 500, then technically it should be more damage, shouldn't it? Like, I don't see any, like, how can this be so hard? Why is there so much information about this and none of it matter? And then, but the same thing they say, like, oh yeah, so you do now to a screen module with penetration, yeah, because suddenly it can penetrate, of course.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter. Like in the end, all it comes down to, I play my i7, I get hit by an HE shell, and now it does, obviously, about 60 damage more than before. I don't, at least, what? Like it doesn't matter whether I get penned or not, or like whether which part of the tank it hits. It does 60 damage more on average. I don't see that adjusted thing, and especially the complex, the total complex adjusted, whatever that means. Why is that a thing? I don't get it.
No,
if anyone can explain that to me, I'll give 5 stars. I don't get it.
Yeah, like that's why I said initially, like what I would primarily look at is the on armor without penetration, because that's, in my opinion, the most that's the average situation. Then you have like these, well, as you can see, like 63.5% of the time, that's what happens. And then you have like that's actually quite a big increase on armor with penetrations from 3.4% to 9.2. But I would, like, that's exactly where I would say that the sandbox players are on average way better than the average like live server player, and that's why the penetrations on the HE shells is way higher in the data.
Yeah, because they can make that work, right?
They like, of course, they will be penning more shots on average, like regardless of what shell it is.
So
yeah.
But I think it doesn't matter. Like again, that's what I meant. I don't think it matters whether the shell pens, whether it doesn't pen, like where does it hit, does it go through a billion fences before it hits. I don't think that matters to the average player, or not even like to the professional. At the end, at a professional level, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm at 500 health. Can I take a hit from an HE shell, or can I not take an hit from an HE shell?
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. And if now the damage seems to be higher than before, then the chance is less likely, so it makes that overall experience harder for someone, right?
Yeah.
I still wonder where they pull that adjusted number from.
The assessed influence of the changes to receive HE damage to the vehicle's ecosystem as a whole. Like, I don't even understand that sentence. Like, well, like, it has been taken into account that HE damage is only a smart.
They're probably like saying, okay, if you consider AP, APCR, heat, and all these shells, right? Then
yeah, but this is still just HE. Yeah. They say it up here. Hits of HE shells. So why do we need to adjust for APCR, AP, whatever?
Yeah, no one cares. Who cares? Like, oh, on average, I'm gonna take like 2% less damage if I consider all the shells. But we're talking about HE, not AP.
Yeah. This needs clarification.
Yeah, so much. And then there's like so much more wrong in this fucking article.
Because there will be more HE? I don't think there will be more HE.
But even if there was more HE, how does more HE change the average? Not at all. Like, it doesn't matter whether I shoot 100, 1,000, or 10,000 HE shells. The average is the average.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What are they talking about?
And there's some wargaming magic going on here.
Yeah,
I wish like someone came and explained it in like, and not like in the usual wargaming way of like having some pretty visuals in a 2-minute clip and just repeating what's said here, because that wouldn't explain it. I would like to sit down with a freaking developer or whatever and like have them explain what these numbers mean. and what's an assessed influence of the changes, like yeah,
that's pretty much a number they pull somewhere out of their ass. Like, it doesn't matter, because in the end, like, all it comes down to is the live server. I would love to, if Wargaming would go ahead and publish these exact numbers, right? There's exact same table, but like in 3 months on actual live server stats, and compare
that's what I would like
to
to see.
theirs, that's what they predict. Yeah, because I bet you it's gonna be off like a mile.
Yep.
And then they're like talking about,
these numbers will be way smaller. I'd
Either
say.
that or higher. Who knows? We'll see. And then there's like stuff like, for example, they say like interaction with HE shells, right? And they say like, oh, there's 3 key groups of vehicles that are most concerned about, right? And they're just like vehicles with good armor, so like Type 5 Mouse, I7, whatever, with average armor, so like every medium tank, and with light armor, so like every light tank. Like all tanks then? Why group it then? Why group it into like multiple, like there's so much wrong and so much obvious bullshit.
Yeah, like I still like the idea of HE doing like less damage, but like as it looks now, my estimation would be that there will not be really a change. Well, I mean, these numbers will shift around, right? So I'm a feeling like this category on armor without penetration or the screen module without penetration, these numbers are gonna go up. On armor with penetration will go down because average Andy will right click, left click, and not pen, because they won't consider like that they have to aim now, right? So
that's the thing though, like I wouldn't even want to get in whether this is like a good change or a bad change, because there's no data to base that on. The data they provide us is basically meaningless.
Yeah, and like even I don't see much change in the end. Like I don't see this changing very much, except that you can get shot through buildings, fences, whatnot, which is kind of annoying. So
I find that to be annoying as well, because I like to, for example, use a fence or a wall to hide from like a shit barn or something.
HE will be used more skillfully. Winner, that was my initial like why I said I like the change of like HE being have to be aimed more and doing less damage, because that would like I mean, you know, the 60 TP HE spam meta that's going on like these days. That's bad, and like in general I feel like it would make people take more careful shots, learn weak spots and whatnot, but this alone doesn't cut it. Like wargaming needs to educate the players as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like if they do those two things could be really good, but
the dumb player will, even after these changes, spam HE.
Yep, exactly.
Because he doesn't even know that any changes have like exist. They did.
No, they might wonder why am I doing less damage, and then they'll just continue and think they are unlucky or something.
If it does less damage, we don't even know because the data is not useful.
Yeah. Like we have nothing to compare really, and it's such different like worlds, sandbox and live server, that it's like
yeah. They're also talking about like, oh, they've tested it on a sandbox extensively, right? But the real test will come now on the
live,
on the actual test server. It's like, no, they're not testing anything on the test server. What you're doing is like testing whether there's any bugs or not, and then you're just going to release it onto the live server, no matter the results. Yep. The actual test, as you said, is going to be on the live server, but by that it's too late. It's like,
yeah, it's gonna be live, and well, we'll see. I mean, it could be good, could be bad. I guess that's I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to have faith in Wargaming that they know what they're doing.
That's that's the thing with these numbers, right? Like, you look at these numbers, you look at the percentage, you're like, oh, that's lower than before. That's good. And I feel that's so misleading. It doesn't provide anything to anyone other than Wargaming. And Wargaming is going to rub their hands, going to be like, haha, look at the player base. We fooled them once again into believing our crap, and we're going to make money off of it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So, what's winner? Winner is typing some sort of wall of text here. Wargaming knows what they're doing. I mean, yeah, that's true. Wargaming knows exactly what they are doing.
Yep.
They want to make money, and they really know how to do that. They've proven it. And I can't blame them. That's what they're here for, to make money. So.
And I agree, Winner is right. Like, we want the dumb players so we can farm them. That's absolutely correct. But I also want, like, dumb players in a sense that at least, like, someone know what they're doing. Because in the end, these dumb players are also going to be on your team.
Yep, true.
Yeah. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing, like, someone just sit in a corner or something, spam edgy, like a retard. I can counter a decent player, but I can't, like, make my own team better. Like, I can fight the enemy team. I can't fight my team.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll see. I mean, in my final verdict for now of these HE changes is that they are confusing and underwhelming.
Yeah, the too much, too quickly. Instead of, and this is like something I think a lot of people have said before, Wargaming needs to understand, or should understand, that they should if they change stuff, do it incrementally in small steps, and not just, and then over time, and not just go at some point like, oh, we should totally change this one mechanic completely,
Yep.
and just like, up, changed. That's
Yeah,
what
and
they
that's
always do.
Yep, they like Wargaming's like pattern of updating the game is, in my opinion, really weird. Like, they wait for months, years to like balance something or patch something broken. And like in my opinion, they should do regular balancing updates. Not maybe once a week, but once a month. I mean, even if it's one tank, balance it.
If they see, for example, that when, for example, the 268 version 4 was released, how long
Yeah.
did it take them for them to nerf it? Like 5 months?
Long, yeah. Like half year
So-
to a year is usually E5. How long did it take for the E5 to get nerfed?
Yeah, and then over nerfed, of course, they completely wrecked the
Yeah,
thing, right?
that's also one thing. They like swing from one extreme to the other. There's nothing in between, unless
Instead
they
of saying-
get like lucky with some tank. But yeah, that's rare.
Instead of being like, after like a month of being like, okay, this tank is clearly overperforming, we're gonna nerf like this one specific stat like a little bit, right? And then if it's still overperforming, we're gonna nerf that stat like maybe a little bit more. And so just do it step after step, right? And at some point they'll see like a curve going down. If it goes too far down, then it can be like, oh, okay, we're gonna adjust it back up to what it was previously, right? And
Yeah, or
that's how
increase
you
some other
actually
stat to
balance.
compensate.
Yeah, that's like actual balancing. If you like, it's like adding little things and detracting little things, and that's how you balance. Not just like throwing a stone onto like, you know.
Yeah, like
Try.
that's actually quite a good like way to put it. Like Wargaming's method of like patching and rebalancing things. Like what I need is literally teeny tiny little hammer, but they're using the biggest freaking sledgehammer they can find and just whacking it like full force. There we go.
Yeah. You know, like a scale that has like 2 plates. You have like, I don't know, like a few rice corns on one end, and so that's too heavy. And then Wargaming is like, okay, we're not just gonna like put a few grams of metal onto the other side to balance it out. No, we're just gonna throw an entire fucking rock on there.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see them change it. Like, I mean, they could do weekly like bug fixes because there are things to patch. They could do monthly rebalancing of tanks, and then they could do like quarterly bigger content patches, or like bigger, well, non-critical like patches. That's what I would like to see. That would be a great schedule. You know when the patches are coming out, you know what's coming out when, and you will know that things will get fixed soon. So, yeah. All right, let's get back to the news. Artie! Who here doesn't like Artie? Who doesn't like Artie? Alright, so... Well, let's see, so... Yeah, we get now 3 shells with Artie, HE1, HE2, and AP. And if I remember correctly, the HE1 was the one with stun, HE2 was the one which does more damage but doesn't stun. So, I can see, like, both of them being useful, right? I mean, if you have a huge heap of heavy tanks in, like, a heavy tank corner, you know how it's usually goes. Well, then, of course, you want to stun them, so you pick the stun. But if you have a single target somewhere out in the open, yeah, I'd probably go with the more damage then. Like, what's the point on stunning them? AP, in my opinion, completely freaking useless. I don't know how many of you guys tried out the RDs on Sandbox, but holy crap, it's... How many... You remember that Emil we were trying to shoot with AP? And like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we hit him like once. And it bounced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well, apparently
like, it's crazy.
If you scroll down, they're gonna buff the AP damage.
Yeah. Yeah, they will. But that's a pointless buff. Like, why? Because if you won't be hitting anything or penning anything, then what does the increased damage do? I don't know. And like the problem with the... Yeah, go ahead.
The theory was like, okay, so for shooting AP shells, you should be rewarded. Like, if you actually go through the trouble and actually loading AP and then penning, then you should be rewarded for it. That's their theory. But I say that doesn't work.
No.
Because the reward is still not high enough. And the only way to achieve a high reward for that is that we go all the way back to like 0.6, where we still had AP shells that did 2k damage, right?
Yeah, like if you do it, you literally need to one-shot people then. And that's just, not gonna happen.
This is not a reward. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Just take it out entirely.
Yeah, I feel like the AP should just, remove it or make it something else. Make it like a support round. I don't know, like, experiment people. The other problem with the AP shell is, especially on the 261, that the trajectory is flat as hell. So, like, there's a little bump in front of you and you're pretty much direct fire at that stage. So, you'll be shooting a lot into the ground. Alright, so AP shell damage, GW from 570 to 640, so it's like 100 damage increase pretty much here. Tactical AP shells, screw tactical. Alright, I don't think there's so much more to talk about the shell types, like I mean, I guess it's nice to have some choice there where you can actually choose to stun or not. Features to counteract SPGs. What do you think about those? In my opinion, it's great that they are adding these like the sound detection when if an RD is shooting at you. The moment he clicks, you get this notification showing up from which direction the shell is coming, right? So I think that's like a good well, it's a step in the right direction, but especially in like slow tanks, it's completely useless, because by the time you can react or even like be able to move your tank a little bit, the shell is already there and it hit you. So yeah, I don't know. Good thing, maybe just not enough. And what else do we have? We had the brighter shell tracers. Those were actually pretty cool, because I did manage to yoink a couple of RDs by looking at the tracers. So like that's good. That's a change I like. Display of SPG hits on the minimap. I guess it does bring something, but
I gotta say, this is the most interesting change to me. That you can actually see when and where an enemy SPG hit.
Yeah.
Because I often find me to be in a location with a heavy tank, for example, where I'm behind a building, I'm hiding from an RT, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, when do I attack? And now I can just look at the minimap and be like, oh, SPG just fired.
Yep.
I can
so
out,
yeah,
you know?
but that's a good part. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how it works out on the live server. And how people are going to change their playstyle according. Alright, so those are the changes. Further steps, so we are gonna go into super test now. And there's gonna be some changes actually on the super test. Rebalancing, so we'll take a quick look at the super tests as well. What will be super tested? Type 4, Type 5, Sheridan T49 KV2, KV2R, EBR, and Lynx. So yeah, the T49 Sheridan, the gun, gets buffed, basically. Not by much, but a little. Dispersion and third traverse gets better. Type 5 Heavy. Let's see. Alright, so AP shells get more penetration. 252 is the new one. Dispersion and it was for both, yeah. Both the gun dispersions are buffed. Same goes for the Type 4. This is quite interesting. They are actually making changes to the premium tank. But it's mostly buffs anyway, so as far as I remember.
All buffs, yeah.
Yeah, more horsepower. And aiming time decreased 3.8. Suspension traverse, dispersions better. Traverse speed better. Third traverse speed. Oh no, the dispersion, yeah, dispersion. So that they get a little bit better. But I guess that's to balance, like the fact that, well, the shells are gonna be different, so not to anger all the whales. EBRs, here we go actually with some nerfs. The 105, penetration was decreased from 105 to 75, so yay. And that's for the HE, right? Then we have the 90mm on the Panhard EBR and the Panhard linked from 90 to 75. So, yay, wheelie nerfs. Finally.
That's gonna be strong for like light tanks.
Yeah.
If you think about, for example, the Leopard one has, I think, exactly 75mm of frontal hull armor.
Yeah, so now it's pretty much 50-50 if you're gonna pen.
Before it was basically given
100.
You always
Yeah, pretty much 100%. And some artillery changes, we went through those. AP shells receive more damage. What about other vehicles? In addition to the specified changes, there are a number of other vehicles that can be considered vehicles with HE-based gameplay, for example. Boogie, FV405, and some Shermans. I'd say there are other tanks. I guess these are just examples. So yeah, that Panzer IV is gonna be there, and what else?
It's like there's one tank that are completely missing, I think. It's gonna be even more broken than before. And that's gonna be the Italian tier 4 tank, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the bug. No, that's Polish, the boogie. Yeah, yeah. Or the I can't even remember the name of it anymore. But yeah. And actually, one thing they don't mention at all is a Death Star. But I guess it's
same as the FE, right?
Yeah, so I guess it's bunched up in that category as well. And so yeah, and then once the super test is done, it's gonna be in the 1.13 update in June. All right, I guess we went through all the interesting stuff then. Yeah, I mean, some good news, some confusing news. I guess time will tell, right? We'll see what's gonna be what. Should we actually play? We've been talking for 45 minutes here. Damn, I was supposed to do a quick news update, but
Playing the game?
What?
What?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna add that one to YouTube. I'll have to chop it up and into smaller bits, but that could be interesting for some people to hear some thoughts about it. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, why not? I want to do like an extensive video about this.
Yeah, but I do hope we get more information, then we can maybe go into more depth about the entire matter. And but that was a good discussion. I mean, for anyone who's not following this news regularly, I hope that was helpful. We do have quite a bit of people around now, so if anyone missed our news update, then the VOD will be available after the stream, so just check out the first 45 minutes or so. And you'll be up to speed, and I'll be uploading it in some sort of bite-sized chunks to YouTube at some point. Yeah, when like it's Artie. I'm like Artie's already like it's an impossible task. Try and balance it. Like it's gonna be annoying. Like the problem is that it's not fun playing Artie and it's not fun playing against Artie. Like if you make Artie hit pretty much all the time, yeah, sure, it'll be fun playing Artie. Will it be fun playing against Artie? No. Alright, so let's balance it the other way. Let's make Artie miss a lot and then do a lot of damage in one shot. Will it be fun playing Artie then? No. Will it be fun playing tanks? I'd still say no. Because, well, Artie. So, yeah. Oh, boom, there we go. Back. So how about we play some games?
Yes, how about we play